Alright, so anyway,
Here he is.
let's see what we can do here. I want to try to get this done if I can. I believe Hey, that don't look right. Let's see. See what it's doing is giving me part of the wakes. There. Okay. Not a little quite as deep so that I can use it on other stuff.
Thursday. Goss. Vanessa.
Yeah, that's me.
And Jeremy. The all-new cool.
But if I had to, I would. Just that
starts Thursday at 10 on IFC. Presented by Dos Equis.
do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But anyway, yeah, I'm just mumbling. Come on, I need a new pick. Let me go get another pick, because this pick is a pick in the ass. Come on. Come on, don't be such a pain in the ass. There we go.
And that's kind of it right there. But Rodney knew just what to do. He got quick.
I don't care for that little bit. We're not going to know Alright, to kind of give you an idea where we're at here, all I need on this is this. So what I did was, because this was part of that, this one was not. This one was not. So I have to cut each one of these off from that using a straight edge, because again, I don't need them. So you want to pick them off carefully, because even though I don't need any of this, I don't want to accidentally rip something off that I do need, if you know what I mean. So you want to really make sure you kind of pay attention as to what you're doing here. And then when I'm all done, I'll cut this right down with one straight edge, and we'll be done with it. And then when I do the red one, when I do the red one, this will be the only piece I take off, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? So let me get a little bit of There's certain things you're going to want just to make it easy. One is, you need more than one of these. And buy a box of blades. You get like 100 blades for, I don't know, $5 or so. Over that, if you know what I mean. So, again, without having the proper light, it makes it a little tough. Okay, thank you. Generator's a pain in the butt. And I want to make sure that I get this so I don't have to do too much trimming. And all I got to do is take it down to there. Now what did I do with the pick? I thought I had another pick out. What did I do? Did I throw it in the box? Did I throw it back in the box? I guess so. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, let's see what happens here. First, let's start by taking off as much of this as we possibly can, just to see what we have. Come on, be nice. There you go. And I don't care about all the little detail, because believe it or not, it cut out the part there, which again I don't care. Now what do I got there? Do I got it all? I think I got enough of it. Now, if I got this cut right, I can take this with the stars, I don't need it, and rip this right up. Like that. Now I can also save this piece if I wanted to, by just sticking it back down on a piece of clear paper, basically like this. And I have that with all the stars if I want the stars later. Now, that's where we're at so far. So the bottom, if I remember right, the first line, the first stripe on the bottom is red. So that would be this. The next one is white. So that means this one comes off. Whoop. You stay there, little fella. See how I turn here? Red. Wait, here now. This should come right here. than to not have a red on top. Because if I took that one off, that's part of that, so there's really nothing there, if you know what I mean. If I take this off, there's not going to be any white or no red on top of that. So by leaving that one a little thicker, it gives me what I need. So I think now this is why it's a good idea to measure, which you should tell I didn't. And as you can tell, I'm not. But I'm just kind of getting this going here, so it's not that it's a big deal. So this has to go here. You got me so far? So far, so far. So what I need to do is I got to put this on a piece of transfer paper. So I'm going to move that over there. Now they make a couple of different types of transfer paper. They make the clear color, and then they have one that's like a milky white. It's somewhat transparent, but it's not real transparent, if you know what I mean. And it's kind of important is when you put the transfer paper down as well, that you make sure that there's really not a lot of air bubbles in it. You can get away with it, but it just takes a little bit longer, and it sometimes makes it a little bit harder to work with. This is the other color. You know, it's somewhat transparent, but it's you know, it's a little cheaper, and for small jobs it's good, but if you got to see through it to line something up, you may not want to do it. So that's where these come in handy. Actually, this works good after the fact, after I pull off the what you call it. Now, I really don't want all this transfer paper sticking around either, because I didn't measure. If I measured, it would have been a little easier. But we'll see what happens. So we're going to take that, we're going to put that there. Now when I peel this off, that blue, now this transfer paper is also a little on the old side, but that blue should come off on the transfer paper. And this is when you want to pull off. You don't want to pull it back on itself. Now, here's where it starts to get a little striagnus. Actually, I'm going to do something here that normally wouldn't do, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a chance here. Yeah, I know. Be right there, guys. Hold on. Now this has got to go right there. And I want to try to keep it as straight as possible to make sure that the red and the blue down here on the bottom are going to be about right all the way across, if you know what I mean. There. That's a little off, see it? Yeah, I might be able to get it up again and try it. That's why the measuring would have came in handy at this point. Whoop. Come on, don't be a pain in the ass now. That's good enough. Okay. Now, if everything works right, now I want to pull the transfer paper back on itself. But I want to make sure that I don't pull up the blue with it, because I want this all to stay down here for now. So I want to make sure I pay attention. There. Come on, get off my hand. Thank you. Now, what do I do with that little felt? Oh, here it is. Now you use the felt. Do a little padding first. Now right here we got a little bit of an issue. See it right there? Well, as much as that's there, I don't want it there. So I'm going to just cut that off right now. But we don't really need it, because they're going to focus on this. If I leave that there, they're going to focus on that. Okay, so alright, so that's that. Now, again, I don't care about this star thing right now over here, so I'm just going to get that out of the way and throw it away. Because I don't care about the stars, I was just showing you something. Now, the big roll of transfer paper. Now usually I have this on a bar so I can just pull it out, because this can get a little striagonous, believe it or not. Striagonous. Who is she? Who is this striagonous person? So let me cut this, get that out of the way. Come on, be nice. There we go. And then I like to just kind of fold it over on itself a little bit so it's easier to pull off next time. I don't have to find the end. Now, this is all one piece. Now that little mark there, you're not going to see that, because when I put this on something, I don't know what I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on the back of the van, just to give you an idea what I'm talking about. I want to make sure I get the air bubbles out. I want to make sure that it's going to stick to the transfer paper. Alright, now again, normally this would all be measured, which would make it a lot easier. But at this point, I'm not going to worry about that, because I haven't done any measuring yet, so why start now? However, I will measure center if I have to put it someplace center on the van. And it's always good. I mean, you really don't do it the way I'm doing it right now if you were going to start. You want to try to keep your ends, especially a top and a side, straight. I'd put a straight edge on this to make sure that it's straight, and it's straight and even and square. You follow? Because if I have to go according to something, I know I have a square here. This is square from here to here. So I know I can use this if I had to lay a line or measure a line to put this on. Now sometimes what you would do is you'd take a piece of masking tape and you'd put it half on the vinyl piece and half on whatever you're putting it on, so it can act as a hinge. You see? Then you can do it so when you start to pull it off, it starts to lay down, because you would put it on the hinge, start to pull it off from behind, and lay it out as you go along. On the big stuff, that comes in handy, or on a windy day. Alright, so that's done basically. Now, all I have to do to install this, or to put it on the van, or whatever it is I'm going to put it on, is make sure it's clean. If I want to make sure that it's centered to something, what I would do is I would measure the distance of the flag, not the paper, but the farthest part, the largest part of the flag. So in this case, from down here to up here, and that's 12 inches. Okay, so I would put a pencil mark right about here on the 6-inch mark. So I know that's 6 inches. Okay? And then I do the same thing in this direction, so I know from up here, well actually this is the tallest part, but if I put a straight edge across that to get a measurement, I would know from there to the bottom. So from here to here, we'll say from the top down to Florida, we got 7 1/4. So I would have to go 3 1/2 plus right there. So that's right about there. So I know at this point that this is somewhat center. So then I would measure where I have to get a center point, top mark, side mark, and then place it, and I'm done. So now what I would do is I would just take this off, because when I peel this back, the transfer paper back, the decal is going to come off on this clear paper. And when it comes off on the clear paper, then I take it, put it on what I want to put it on, apply it well, you follow me, and put it on. Then after I put it on, I pull the paper off, and then I go over it. Gotcha? So anyway, that's what we have. So like I say, I'll probably just put this on the van. Only because and this vinyl that I use is good for outdoor stuff. It's not just indoor. I usually buy the mid-grade to high grade. I never buy the low grade stuff. Alright, so it'll last at least 3 years outside. So there we are. And if I wanted to do another color, I would actually cut another one in another color. Now, with the software that I used to have, and I don't know, this software may do it, I haven't had a chance to really play with it. If I wanted to do this with the software that I used to have on the large cutter, I can make it so that it would just cut out the blue if I want the blue. So it would cut just the blue. And then if I picked red, it would cut just the red. And if there was another color, I'd pick that and it would cut just that. So if there's 4 or 5 colors, I can cut each color separate. So all I have to do is lay them over one another, and I still end up with a one-layer surface. You follow me? But this software may do it. I just haven't played with it enough. That's the problem. So I gotta get into that software a little bit more. I'm not going to say it can't. I'm just, so far I haven't seen it. But this is something that I just pulled off the internet. This isn't anything that was part of a software package. So, but that's it, guys.